Well, hello there, and welcome to the fourth episode of Hydra Museum, where today I'm gonna be building three things, and they are gonna be pretty big things as well that took a lot of time, so that's why this episode is the longest so far in the series. I'm gonna be building Cervus Zoo, which you can see me start on right now. I'm also gonna build Stariol and the Temple of the Golem, and for those who don't know what those last two are, Stereo is season four of my Poké Build season thingy. Uh, I did my first live stream ever in Stereo, and I also did a live stream day of about where I streamed for about 5 hours total live. It's somewhere around 1 year and a month ago, and then it crashed because my iPad was completely overloaded and stuff, and now I can finally load it up again. So I'll finish that project soon as well. And the Temple of the Golem was my first ever finished project. It's also a featured world, so you can always find it in the featured section. It's all the way on page 6 because it was one of the first featured worlds. And there's also one video of that because it was a single Let's Build video, so you can check that out in the description, or maybe even in an info card if I'm not lazy. So we'll see how editing me does. And I will hop back between Cervus and Stereo all the time because, well, I simply didn't feel like building Cervus at one point, and I decided to start building Stereo, which you can see me do in a minute, because Cervus is kinda already technically advanced. It's probably my most technically advanced build at the moment, even though it's not finished yet. But so recreating it in size -8 was even harder because snap settings and stuff. Because I built a lot on the most precise snap settings. So the most precise snap settings in size 0 are practically uh, too precise for size -8. So you can't always place the object where you want it to place with snap settings. So you either have to freeform it or you have to get it in place by let's see, how do you call it? Uh, English is hard today. Where you just place an object where so that it actually gets into place where you want it to be after that, and then undo the first placed object and then just place the one where you want it to be to a place where you can't actually move it, so you actually have to use other objects to get it there, which I used a lot throughout the museum, if you hadn't noticed that already. So that's maybe a little trick that you could use as well. I don't know if you build a lot or something. I don't know exactly who's watching my videos apart from the people commenting, and I know some don't even play the game, so um, probably not a lot of you are actually gonna use that because A, I explained it really vaguely, and B, not everyone plays the game. So, but we'll see. Maybe it helps someone, which is already uh, enough for me. So, as I said, I'm hopping back and forth a bit between stereo and Cervus at first. I first built a part of the entrance of Cervus Zoo, which was incorrect, by the way, so I have to move a lot over later in this episode. And now I'm starting on stereo with the channel, or whatever you call it. Basically, this whole channel was the only reason stereo existed in the first place, because I wanted to try out this design with the entrances. So that's why the stereo even exists in the first place. Who knows what my channel would have looked like if I wouldn't have had stereo. I honestly don't know, but we'll never find out, I guess. And at first I built the river way too straight. There need to be more bends in it, and so it looked a bit natural, and you can really will stereo properly because stereo also had a really bendy river, or at least not completely straight. it made a bit of a bend throughout the whole island thing. It flows through. So that's why I had to redo the whole channel in a bit, which you will see me do maybe in 10 seconds, maybe in a minute. I don't exactly know. We'll see. I think we'll get there soon, but the Temple of the Golem. I don't know if it's in the thumbnail shot, but the Temple of the Golem is actually my yes. I'm actually changing subjects really smoothly here. I know, but the Temple of the Golem is probably my favorite build in this whole museum so far because it just looks really good in the place it is, in my opinion. Really, just in the center of the hall, where you can already see the Aztec temple base that the temple uses, and that the Temple of the Golem is also probably one of the most exact recreations in this whole museum, which I'm quite happy about because it's quite an important build for the museum because it's quite highlighted in the place it is right now. So, and the Temple of the Golem is the last Let's build I have to add in this museum because I still have Caverna to build, which is like 1 month old now. I built that for a tropical challenge in Pokéball Palace. Link to join it is in the description. And this museum also was built for challenge in Pokéball Palace, the museum challenge. And instead of building a classical museum, I just decided to build a museum of my builds. I already said that in episode 1, but in case you haven't watched that or something, I said it again. So go do something with the information or something. I have no idea. But now you can see me actually editing a bits of the rooms that are lower down so that you can't look through the floor and the wall. There was a tiny gap there that you could clearly see in first person, but I closed it off with a fence. And any minute now I will actually start editing the channel and basically removing the whole this thing, I guess. Or wait, did I already do that or something? I think I did. Never mind the channel editing then. I think I already had it figured out before I even said I was gonna edit the channel in a minute, but okay. My bad. But I guess you can't really properly see it now, neither could I because I'm seeing the same things as you are as I'm doing this commentary. The channel did actually look fine in the end, but it didn't at first. I had to edit loads of it, so maybe you actually saw that where I didn't, while also having to talk over this video thingy. And maybe you also didn't like me because I distracted you too much with my boring commentary, or maybe you just didn't notice because you weren't paying too much attention. I don't know. I don't know how you watch this video in what kind of environment, but who cares? I think Stariol turned out great, even though it isn't an exact recreation of a section of Stariol. It is really close to being exactly the design of that Stariol had around the channel, so at least it is when I'm done with this build. But now you can see me make loads of mistakes with the placing of these towel thingies that I'm placing right now. But I will fix it up eventually. But for now, I'll leave it alone with the music, and I'll see you later. Bye.